Hi, my name is Miko Miller, and I am the 30-minute workout specialist. And my goal is to help you maintain or improve your health and quality of life. Today, I have another special guest, another friend. We go back way back to Truman State University. Miss Tamara Lewis, better known, I call her Tammy. She's my sister, and I brought her on today. I won't give you too much. I'm gonna let her tell you about her journey. But I brought her on to talk about uh, her health journey and how it has helped her to be a survivor. Now I'll let her fill in details for that. So, Tammy, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hey, Meeks. You see, I say Meeks instead of Miko, right? Um, Thank you so much for having me a part of this, and I have been looking at the videos, right, and I make sure that people go on and follow you so they can get the tips and tricks. But yeah, so with my fitness journey really started in July of 2018. Well, actually, it started in May of 2018 when I finally decided to start checking off the bucket list for fitness, where I called myself doing my first 5K, which I found out 30 days in before the race was a 10K. So I did the Peachtree here in Atlanta,
Okay.
and it was a mindset shift because when I was like, oh, it's a 10K, that's different. I'm like, but it's only 3.2 miles, right? So I was just in a mindset where I'm like, I got to get I'm getting older. I got to get my body right. I got to get my, cardiovascular in. So why not start checking off the bucket list? And so I remember calling you because my knee started doing something crazy. And I was like, well, let me just call Meeks because this is what he does. So getting some tips and tricks for running because I've never ran before in my life. So then it became like an adrenaline and a drug, so to speak, because I just love doing it. Because the other thing that it helped with is mental health. And so I would run and I would be by myself. And I came up with all these ideas, like tons of ideas came out of me starting to run. And then I would make an adventure of it. I mean, like one day I was in St. Louis. I actually got lost in Forest Park. I mean, who gets lost in Forest Park? But I actually kind of sort of got lost. Right. And so check the box. So my first race was a 10K, not a 5K. And I talked to some other runners and they said I did it actually in pretty good time for it to be my first one. But so yeah, so in July of 2018, finished my first race, which was the 10K. And then August of 2018, I get diagnosed with breast cancer. So life totally changes. So I was at the height of my health. I started eating differently, and then bam, smack with this wall. And I remember when I got diagnosed, I went through the whole, Lord, why me? I did everything right, check the box, blah 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 blah. So why me? And then I just realized, why not me? And I realized that this journey wasn't going to be just about me. It was going to be about the people I locked arms with and moved forward. So yeah. So I am a soon to be 2-year breast cancer survivor. I remember calling you and yep. And I always apologize because I remember when I called you too. I know exactly where I was. I was at Jack's Meat House here and go give me some peanut butter. And I was like, hey, Meeks, I gotta tell you something. I gotta say it all. And it was like in one sentence, I told you I had breast cancer and I needed your help at the same time. And I
Yes, you did,
remember,
with no pause
yeah,
in between. So
with
that
no
caught me
pause
off
in
guard.
between. Yep. Yep.
After I caught my breath, I was more than happy to help you. Tell me
Yep.
this. What's your opinion on there for someone else going through the fight, who's trying to come out as a survivor? Uh, Tell me what's your opinion on the importance of maintaining and improving your health during this process.
Right. I think, because a lot of it was a waiting game, because I had to go through, once I got diagnosed, I had to go through other testing, just to see what stage it was. And so once we found that out, I was like, okay, great. So we can do the surgery like this week. And it was like, no, we can't get you on the books for like another 2 months. So then it's a mental piece. Right. And so that's where the fitness part came in, the walking, well, walking or running, because you're in your head so much, right? And so that helped like alleviate stress overall. I think it was they're just, I guess, the endorphins from running itself just help with stress. And so I always, encourage people who are going through the process, even if you just walk, get out and walk, get outside. And I'm not like, I'm not a treadmill girl. I just can't do that. That's just not me. But do something where you can keep your body moving, because all I knew is a body in motion stays in motion. And then it became, I just tricked my mind, because I'm like, okay, so I have another race. And I was kind of hinting on this in social media. The new race was my surgery, because that's when I called you, and I was like, okay, so what type of surgery is it? And so I had what's called a latissimus dorsi with reconstruction. So I started looking up the surgery, and I'm like, oh, they're moving my lat muscles and they're putting them, towards the front and doing all this other stuff. And I'm thinking of my range of motion. And so now the new race became for me to get my body in shape for the surgery, because it was going to go through something traumatic.
That is very interesting. For everyone out there who's watching this, I tell my guests what I'm going to ask them, but I don't have them tell me what they're going to say ahead of time. So it's very interesting hearing the first thing that comes to your mind. When I asked that question, I was initially thinking physically, building muscles. I thought that's the answer that you were going to give me, but hearing the importance of exercise to your mental state is a unexpected answer, and it shows how sometimes when you do when you start exercising, it can be some unintended benefits that you didn't know was going to happen. Most of the time people do exercise because they want to lose weight, or they want to build up their cardiovascular, they're going to run. They have no idea that they're going to have clarity of mind and thought, and be happier, be in a better mood, sleep better, things of that nature. So it's very interesting that was the first thing that was important to you, is your mental health. What physical benefits did you get from the workout that helped you to recover from your surgery?
So I think number one, that's what it was. It was, I recovered faster. And I remember, every time I would go see the doctor, I'm like, can I run yet? Can I run yet? When can I start running? Because I knew, number one, mentally, that it kept me grounded. And then I knew, number two, that I had to keep on pushing my body. And I'm a little different. I am a little different, but I just knew that I had to keep my body in motion, and not, sit in the recliner going through, the recovery. And I did follow doctor's orders for the most part, but I knew I had to get out there. Right. So I think that was like the biggest thing, is because I knew the surgeries, like I knew it wasn't just one surgery. I had like 4 surgeries. One of them was a 6-hour surgery. And I just knew that I had to have my body ready for the surgery to get through the surgery. And then, then I had 28 days of radiation. So again, I just knew I had to have my body in continuous motion so it could fight. Because, once when you have cancer, you're susceptible to you get the cold faster than most people because your immune system. So I knew I had to turn the inside of my body into a fighting machine. Again, I'm a little different, but I just knew I had to do that. And so I would say I was obsessed with that, because I knew that was the only way for me to get through that process. But, one of the things that my plastic surgeon said is, he said, you've recovered a lot faster than most people have. And a lot of that I attribute to staying, healthy, eating the right foods to a point, because all of a sudden I got a sweet tooth after all of this, but eating the right foods, but then also always staying on my game when it came to running.
If you could speak directly, which I know you do on your own social media platforms all the time, but if you can indulge me and give people who are going through, be it women who are going through breast cancer, or anyone who's going through cancer and fighting and want to come out the other side as a survivor, do you have any words of encouragement, be there about health and fitness, or anything else that you would like to say to people who are going through this fight?
Yeah, I've just, I think, realized through this process that the body is so amazing, and you can will it to do. You can will it to do what it needs to do. And I remember one night, because they send you home on all these pain meds, and I told myself that I was not going to be on pain meds. And I remember sitting in the recliner, and I told my body, all right, get ready, this is going to be a 24-hour fight, because I knew it was going to hurt. But I like, you can will yourself. The power of the mind and the body, once they start connecting, it's just amazing. So, going through it, whatever your regimen is, even again, if it's walking, start doing something. One of the other things that I did is I did a lot of forward thinking. So I had my goals for the next year. So even though I was in the here and now, I was in next year. And for me, like from a fitness standpoint, the Peachtree 2019 was going on. So, all this happened in 2018. And I said, I'm going back and I'm running the Peachtree as a survivor. And I'm probably tougher on myself. I was like, okay, so how do you beat your race time? And that was my focus. How do you beat your race time from last time? But the biggest thing for me was to go and finish the race as a survivor and then start taking on the next level, which is more races. And then the coronavirus happened. So, but in my mind, I'm already like, okay, so that as soon as they open up the races and we can start racing again to compete, then I'm already going to be ready. I'm not going to be behind the ball. I'm going to be ahead of it. So just keep your body moving. Keeping your body moving, keeps your mind moving, because I think when you get diagnosed with cancer of all forms, you are your biggest enemy, and it's your mind that's your biggest enemy. And so the key is to keep moving, keep positive. If there was many times when I went and ran and I cried by myself, and I felt better because I just knew I had to get it out, and that was my outlet for it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because it is a big deal, but I would just say do something that keeps your body and your mind physically moving, and then set goals going into the next year and just start knocking those bad boys off, because then you're thinking about the future and not where you are here and now.
Before I let you go, is there an organization or a cause that you would like to promote or tell people about, a website that they can go to get more information about any topic that you think that they should have if they're going through this fight?
Yeah, and so literally a week before my surgery, during one of my runs, I actually came up with a nonprofit, Pink Pearl Hero, which is the basis will be about, is about breast cancer awareness, but it's really about women's empowerment. But a component of that is self-care, and that self-care part is the fitness part, because you got to keep your body moving, regardless of cancer or not. You got to keep your body moving. So part of that is, at some point, we do want to sponsor like, a 5K into a 10K, or doing walks. Like I partner with a girlfriend here in Atlanta, Check a C, and we were doing for the coronavirus, we were doing walks where we did a walking workshop, but I post those and we do those in collaboration. So they can reach us or see what we're doing on Instagram and on Facebook. It's, at Pink Pearl Heroes, pretty simple. And that's a great place to see what's going on. We're really just starting, because my last surgery was January. A lot of people didn't know that, but my last surgery was January. So I'm really kind of coming around the corner where I can go full speed ahead.
Thank you very much, sis. I really appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story with me. Tell your husband and everybody happy Father's Day. And to all the viewers out there, I hope you understand when I say my goal is to help you maintain and improve your health and quality of life. It is not just getting your 30 minutes in. I believe to be truly healthy, you also need to have a healthy diet, and you also have to take care of your mental health. And this was a great discussion, and it shows you the importance of being mentally strong and being mentally healthy. So I thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed this. If you did, please like, share, friend, and follow across all your social media platforms. Until next time, be safe, stay healthy, and get your 30 minutes in.
Yep.